Hello Dragonflies, I'm Mike Farr. Here's a really fast review of RubyMine from JetBrains. It's available for a free trial download. I'm really liking it and I think you'll see why. Let's get going and let's solve the pad array problem from last week. Easiest thing to do is simply to drag this onto my RubyMine in the dock. Opens up our project window and I'm just going to double click on our files. Here's our solution file and this is our RSpec file. I'm going to go ahead and I found one thing I like to do is split vertically, put the RSpec file over here and then have my code over here. You might find a different way to work. So let's take a moment to think about what the problem is. I've got my pseudocode already here. Basically, given an array, we want to pad that array out to a minimum size with the element handed in. So in our non-destructive version here of pad, probably the first thing we want to do is duplicate the array that we're handed in. So let's create an output array and we'll just dupe it. The first thing I want to show you is running the RSpec. This is a simple enough thing to do. You can just right click on here and say run RSpec and it goes ahead and does it. And as our non-destructive one, we actually passed a couple of tests. If you double click on one of these tests, it'll take you to the RSpec and boom, you're right there. You can see operates non-destructively. Excellent. You can see here the one that we didn't pass, and that's not surprising since we don't really have any code here yet. So let's go ahead and let's finish coding our solution. Let's see, so what do we need to do? We've got it duplicated, so we just need to shove values into output up to min size. So from array.length up to min size. And the nice thing about doing it this way is that if min size is less than array.length, then this won't run. And when I say this, what I mean is I'm going to do a .each and give it a block. And the block is just simply shoveling our value into output. And if we return output, then we ought to be good. Now, like many of you, I like to write these little tests in here just to see if what I've got is working. So if let's run that. So I can just right click and say run my solution and boom, here we are. And you can see what we got was 1, 2, 3, apple, apple, and execute 0, which means no errors. But let me show you what debugging is like. I'm going to go ahead and set a breakpoint here, and we can right click in the file and say debug my solution. And if we do that, we'll stop here. You can see we've got our stack here. We've got our local variables here. We can see what our initial array was. And it's kind of nice. It also has put in what our method was passed in as parameters. So min size 5, value apple, and then array is 1, 2, 3. So let's go ahead and step over the output and we can see it duplicate the array. So here's our step over. You can also get these, everything is function keyed, so you don't ever have to take your hands off the keyboard. So if I click it, you can now see that our output here has 3 arrays. And very nicely here, it went ahead and told us what the output of this statement was. Let's go ahead and take a look at this iterator here. Instead of just stepping over it, I want to go ahead and step into it. With a block, this is going to take me a couple times to actually get to the point where that first shovel happens. So we'll click on it once and again, and then this time we should see that, yeah, our third element, or element index 3, is now apple. If I click it again, we can see it there. And so we should be good. Our output is ready to go. And our console, there we go. This is the one that failed, pad elements to the end of the array. I can right click on this to only run this single test. That's a really nice thing to do. So here we are, and you can see it only ran this one test, but we got the right output. Excellent. Let's run the whole thing here. and the rest of it passed. So now that we've got this part working, we might want to commit our changes. Since we're using Git, I've told RubyMine that we are. We can go ahead and just select commit changes here. We've got our commit message, since I've actually already committed this part. You can see that RubyMine has added an IDE folder to it, so we don't actually need to include that, but we certainly want to include mysolution.rb. And you can see here I've been working on the mode spec problem as well. When we go to commit, we can commit or commit and push. I'm going to finish the non-destructive and then we'll come back. Okay, so here we are back. I've added the reflection in here. I'm going to go ahead and commit and push. And here we can see what's actually going on here. And what I've done, I have to download updated the next week. I included my message. Go ahead and push. And we've committed 14 lines, successful, and we're done. Thank you very much. I hope you liked it. If enough of you are interested, maybe we can talk JetMines into giving us a discount.